Hi, I'm Herman W. Lapointe. I was the clerk at the United States Post Office. One of the gentlemen that came every morning was a Wilfred Poirier, who was the owner of Michaud and Poirier Insurance Agency, as well as B&M Loan Insurance Company. I indicated to him that, gee, maybe I would be interested in the insurance business. So from there on, I asked for a transfer to the main post office, and I worked there for 5:30 to 2. And then at 2:30 to 5:30, I joined Mr. Poirier, and he was teaching me the insurance part of the business to learn and show me what was necessary to obtain my license and probably make this a career. I ended up purchasing the insurance agency in 1972. I was afraid that perhaps I wouldn't be able to afford to purchase it because I had 4 children at the time, so that Mr. Poirier made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
My very first memory, and I think it was before he bought the agency, was delivering license plates. We would have a team. He'd be the driver, and I'd sit in the passenger seat with a box of license plates. At that time, Massachusetts, you needed a new plate every year in January. So we would deliver plates. And I would run up to the door, knock on the door, hand them their plate, and he'd be there, still sitting in the car.
So I remember coming home from a Red Sox game. We pulled off the highway, pulled into a driveway, flashed the high beams on the house so you get a good look at it. Got back on the highway, said, oh great, I'll do the appraisal in the morning.
I delivered groceries on Saturday morning, on Saturdays. I did that for 4 years.
I do really remember when he bought the agency in '72. Prior to that, he was working with Mr. Poirier. But I was in high school at the time, and he had a family meeting with us saying that it was, a risk for him, but he felt it was the right decision for all of us that he was buying this business. And we were all very proud.
When I told the post office, I wrote a letter of resignation, and I handed it to the superintendent. And he looked at this, and he naturally told the assistant postmaster, Mr. Sullivan, and he came over and says, you can't do this. He said, this is civil service, you have 4 children. I said, but I think it's a good opportunity. Well, when I told my parents, my mother went off the wall. She just refused to talk to me. And my dad said, go for it. You'll do well. So I did.
I was 13 or 14. I guess by that point he had already owned the agency, bought the agency from old man Poirier. But I was 13 or 14. He bought this building. I remember coming here for a little open house. It was nice. We were all proud that we had our own. That Dad had his own building in the city and all.
I remember my dad working 24/7. Always on the telephone, being home at 6 o'clock for dinner every night though. But he worked, I remember, 7 days a week. Sundays, you go to church, you want to just come home. No. Had to inspect a roof here, there, somewhere. So, still is a hard worker.
In 1975, I bought a gas station on the corner of Pleasant and Eastern Avenue and had it renovated and remodeled into the office that it is today. A little later, Colette decided that I graduated from Boston College and indicated that she would like to come into the office.
I joined the agency just about a month after graduating from Boston College in 1978. I did not commit to my dad of going into the insurance business, but I entered Boston College in the School of Management and intended on having a business career.
Now, a few years later, 1981, I believe, Bill came into the office.
I was a finance major in college. I was a finance major at Northeastern. And Northeastern, you do co-op. And co-op was the best thing I ever did. I decided to do a co-op here at Lapointe Insurance. I did pretty well right off the bat. I mean, for a co-op job, I was out making sales and actually pocketing some money, so I thought I'd give it a try after graduation.
when Bill came, he became very successful in going to Attleboro and out of Fall River and spending a lot of time on small business.
Yeah, in 1983 I graduated, came on full time. I had already been married a year. Really had to get to work.
Between the two of them, Colette was running the operation of the business, and Bill was out knocking on doors. You know, when you got 6 kids, you have to put them all to work.
You know, we built the business consistently each year. We did a lot of old school marketing at the time, direct mail, where when Bill joined the business, he really took us into the commercial lines end of the business. He was very successful. He was very knowledgeable and still is very knowledgeable about the commercial lines side of the business, and called on a lot of small family-owned businesses that we could relate to very well.
I can honestly say I called on every small business in Fall River once, at least.
I remember hearing him say, everywhere I go, they all know Dad. They keep asking me, are you Herman Lapointe's son?
It was a mixed bag. Almost everybody knew my dad. Some saw that as a detriment. Not because of him, but they just thought maybe it's too easy. He's just moving into, to work with his father. Or I was getting that impression anyway. Might have been making it up. I expanded geographically, found a really strong niche up in the Attleboroughs.
He said, you know, someday I just want to walk into a place and be Bill Lapointe. So he started marketing outside of our normal territory and was met with just as much success, if not more success. We had opened an office in North Attleboro in 1986, and truthfully, it was slow growing that agency. We were starting from scratch.
And during those days, when I got ready to retire, it was 10 employees, and today there's 26.
By then, Colette and I had expanded pretty well. We had the office in North Attleboro. We had already done an acquisition or two. Our first acquisition, I remember my dad was still working here because he had to sign off on the loan. Yeah, when we bought the other business. We bought a business, the bank made my dad sign the loan. They didn't entirely trust my sister and I to pay him back.
When I purchased the agency, right from the beginning, I said to myself, with 6 children, at least one of them would be interested. Not realizing, I really never thought that, and Colette started it, a graduate from Boston College is going to come and work for me in the insurance agency, but she did. And I think that while Bill was looking around, he's saying to himself, wait a minute, Colette's going to be the one in that business. I might as well go too. So he came along, and when I left, I felt very good because they were equal partners in this agency, and I couldn't be any happier. And our little girl, Elizabeth, well, she's over in the Westport office.
Liz is a perfect fit for customer service. She's a people person, loves dealing with people, loves helping people.
It was a dream come true. The results are apparent. You can see the results.